It's Wednesday, January 15th, 2020. Wanted to make a video today, and I wanted to go over a few different articles, a couple different topics. Obviously, one of them is this trade deal that got signed today. The phase one deal has been officially signed. What do I think of it? I'm skeptical. I'm hoping for the best. I don't want to see the president fail. I don't want to see America fail. But I'm very skeptical of this deal. I truly believe this deal is fake. I think it was best said on Zero Hedge today. China will buy pigs it desperately needs. It will buy soybeans that it needs to feed those pigs. And whatever oil it can't buy from Iran because of U.S. sanctions, it'll buy from us. Another thing that is bothersome on this deal is it's not enforceable. Either side could walk away, and you have to ask yourself, do you really trust China? Do you really think China isn't going to look out for itself? Do you think China is going to tolerate being told what to do by America? China wants to be the world's superpower. I don't believe China is going to tolerate America telling them what to do. Another interesting part of this phase one deal is U.S. companies can invest in Chinese pension funds and other Chinese debt instruments and Chinese industries. Now, I thought it was all about investing right here in America, investing in U.S. companies, U.S. industry, bringing that money home, bringing that money to the U.S. Now, there's another option. Companies and investors now can send money over to China, investing in China's future, investing in China's economy. I don't see how that's a plus for America. I don't like it. Again, I think a lot of this deal is basically a Band-Aid. It's a truce. I think it's going to be used as a weapon to weaponize the stock market like we've seen it done over the last 12 months. Here's another concern. President Xi from China wasn't even at the ceremonial signing today. They sent somebody else. And you would think if this was really monumentous or monumental, that President Xi would be there to sign it himself. Instead, he sent another government official to sign it. That, to me, draws some questions. Here's another problem. Now that we're going to phase two, this thing is going to be so drawn out if we even make it to phase two. If China doesn't renege on phase one, if they don't abide by the rules and this whole thing comes crashing down, remember, it is not enforceable. China is going to tell us what we want to hear, but are they really going to follow this agreement? Probably not. But if they do, we then head into phase two, where it gets very, very complicated. And phase two is made up of part A, B, and C, three different sections. I don't think this deal is as good as many people anticipated. Yeah, it's going to benefit the farmers. Many of these farmers got subsidies and help by the government. It's going to benefit the banks. And the big question is, which I've been asking, is it going to benefit you? Is it going to benefit me? Is it going to benefit the American people? Yeah, you might save 25, 50 cents, 80 cents at Walmart on your next purchases. But is it really going to change your life? Is it really going to help the U.S. economy? Look, I hope it does. I really hope it does. I pray that it does. I pray that China really follows the rules, follows this agreement, but I don't think that's going to happen. And I think, as I've thought from day one, China is just going to weather the storm. They're going to wear this president out, hoping that he's not going to be reelected. And if he is, They've got 4 years to deal with phase 2, A, B, and C. I think we went on over 2 years on phase 1, and we'll see how long it lasts. But could you imagine how complicated phase 2 is going to be and how long this can linger on? This president will be out of office by the time they even get to probably part B of phase 2. There is going to be no phase 2 agreement. They are never going to give up from stealing intellectual property here in the U.S. They want to be the world superpower. They want the world reserve currency. They are not going to tolerate being told what to do by the United States of America. China is going to make a play to be the world superpower. And this is why, if we don't stand up to them right now, like we should have, they're going to take over. They're going to be the ruling empire of the world. You know, as it went from the British Empire to the American Empire, it is now going to be tossed back to the Asian Empire, and that is going to be China. And I hate to say that, but I really hope it isn't. I hope that at some point we stand up and not allow this to happen, but we are giving them every benefit in the book to take over. I really hope that the American empire does not fall, but when you look at it, it deserves to. We're giving China every ability to take over. We've sent all of our jobs. We've bankrupted ourselves with these wars all over the world. We've printed massive amounts of money. We've abused our powers with the world reserve currency, the petrodollar. We manufacture nothing here in America. China is becoming a richer and richer country. They have a humongous population, a young population. Their military is growing stronger and stronger. Their technology advances daily. They're hungry. Their infrastructure is amazing. They may have massive amounts of debt, but at least they have something to show for their debt. I certainly don't want to live in China. I have nothing against the people of China. I don't want to live in a communist regime. I really hope that America does not fall to China, but all evidence is pointing to that that's going to happen. And it's a solid reason of why you should be preparing, why you better have gold and silver, because you know what? China believes in gold and silver. They're going to back their currency or one of their cryptocurrencies with gold, more than likely. They're setting up the world stage to back their currency with gold. Why do you think they're holding anywhere from 20 to 25,000 tons of physical gold, massive amounts of silver? China's been around forever. They know that fiat paper currencies don't last the test of time, and they know that the world is hungry for change. They know that the world is sick of U.S. dollars. Paper fiat currencies all over the world are failing. They know this, and they know that they're the biggest manufacturer of everything. They have, I believe, the 4 biggest banks in the entire world, and it's going to be very appealing to the rest of the world to have an option other than the U.S. dollar, to go to a currency that is backed by gold, and that's going to be China. And if America doesn't step up and do something here real soon, if we don't stand up to China, if we don't beat them in this trade war, if we don't start manufacturing things here in the U.S., if we don't get this dollar under control, backed by gold, we are going to be left in the dust. And the world's going to be a different place when China takes over. Obviously, one of the things that will expedite the fall of America is this massive debt and this massive manipulation in the markets. On Zero Hedge today, very good article if you get a chance, check this out. It's titled The Zombification of America. Over 40% of all listed companies don't make money, yet nobody questions this. Why isn't this president questioning this? Why isn't the Federal Reserve questioning this? Where's Jerome Powell? And why aren't the American people questioning this? The Fed, the ECB, the BOJ injected upwards of $1.1 trillion into global markets in the last quarter and cut rates 80 times in the past 12 months, which allowed losing companies to survive yet another day. More clear evidence of how manipulated and how fake these markets are. This is a complete Ponzi scheme. Tesla investors are convinced that fundamentals are driving Tesla stock higher. The leader of all insanity, which is Tesla, it's the biggest losing company on Wall Street. It has soared 120% since the Fed launched, not QE. So you think these companies, these stocks, bonds, banks, financial institutions aren't getting help? They're getting massive help by the Fed. Tesla investors can believe in the illusion and magic tricks all they want. What is real and what is a fact is central bank liquidity has been pouring into stocks and bonds at an alarming rate. And I'm here to tell you this is going to end very, very badly for the United States of America. And you must, let me repeat, you must be preparing. This is so dangerous. This is so destructive. It's not going to be stopped. We are past the point of no return. We are heading into the most dangerous times in U.S. history. And either you're going to be prepared for it or you are not. You have to ask yourself, when you look at a company like Tesla, or you look at a company like General Electric, a company that's been hanging on for dear life for years. Shares have plunged 60% in the last 3.5, 4 years, and a lot of it due to the global slowdown, and a lot of it due to the massive debt that they have acquired. Their balance sheet is blowing up out of control. The company is doomed. So what we're witnessing take place with companies like Tesla and GE and 40% of these companies that are making no money is quite criminal. And America is going to pay a huge price for this criminal behavior that has been taking place for over the past decade. Wall Street Journal today. And I want to make this clear. I don't like to repeat news. This is why I read the news every day. I check the data out daily to make sure that you guys are getting the latest information, the latest news. And I like making these videos to just talk out loud, share with you my opinion. And I try to read as many comments down below because I love to read your opinion. I want to know what you guys are thinking because the real wisdom is down below in the comments. And so it's always eye-opening to see what people are thinking and what they're predicting is going to be coming to the United States of America. And I will read those comments, and I put a lot more trust and belief in what the average American is saying in those comments than anybody on Fox Business News or anybody on CNBC or anybody in the media for that matter. The people down below, you're real. And I love hearing what's happening in your areas, what's happening in your personal financial life, and what your outlook is with the future of America and where we are financially. So make sure you comment down below because not just me, but there are a lot of people reading those comments and they're getting a lot of knowledge and wisdom because of you folks. Wall Street Journal today, big banks post big profits thanks to strong U.S. economy. Now this is a load of bunk. They're posting huge profits because the Fed is injecting hundreds of billions of dollars into these institutions. The average American is not posting big profits. And what do you think that is? Because the Fed isn't injecting hundreds of billions of dollars into the economy. It's pumping hundreds of billions of dollars and trillions of dollars into the banks, into the financial institutions, into the stock market. This money is at the very top of the pyramid. It is not trickling down to the real economy. It's trickling down to the banks and the financial institutions. If you watched my show yesterday when I was in Newport Beach, Laguna Beach, you want to see where the money's going? That's where the money's going. That's how people are buying $5 million, $10 million, $25 million homes in Newport Beach and Laguna Beach, because these are the people at the very top, the 0.0001%. These are the people that are getting the help. These are the people that are getting the financial injections. Not you, not me, not the real true economy, not the average American, okay? Not the middle class, not the lower middle class, not the poor. It is at the very top of the food chain. No matter how much money the Fed prints, we still can't afford nice things. This is on Zero Hedge also. Good article. Ask yourself, is all this money printing helping you? And if you're honest, you're going to say no. You would think with the Federal Reserve printing trillions of dollars since 2008, we would all be able to afford nice things. Look where we're at. 80% of America living paycheck to paycheck. Massive amounts of debt, people with 5, 10 credit cards. Average credit card debt now for an individual is like $6,000. Household debt at all-time highs. It just continues to get worse. If you thought you would be better off with all this money printing, that money was going to trickle down and help you, you thought wrong. Nice things are even more out of reach today, except for the favored few who have received the Fed's bounty of freshly created currency. The Fed's trillions were supposed to trickle down into the real economy, but they never did. All those trillions of dollars boosted asset prices and wealth of $100 million yachts, $100+ million planes, massive homes and mansions, just like the ones in Laguna Beach and Newport. And look, I don't have anything against people that have a beautiful home in Laguna Beach or Newport Beach. I have friends in that area, and they're great people. And that's the American dream. But how a lot of people are obtaining this wealth is certainly not on a level playing field. They are getting massive help by the Fed. They're getting this massive help from all this helicopter money, all this quantitative easing, not quantitative easing money. A lot of the people working in these banks and these financial institutions at the very top of the food chain are getting all the help. They're able to buy a $100 million airplane, a $100 million yacht. They're able to live in a $25 million house. Wow, 80% of America is living paycheck to paycheck. I think capitalism is great. I think that if you can make $20 million a year, because you have a talent, you make something, you've invented something, you have a skill, that's great. But I don't have a lot of respect for people who are just getting free money from the Federal Reserve, that the Fed can just print money or put digits on a screen and give it to a select few. I don't see where the talent is for that. I don't see how that helps a country. It seems to me like we now have this imbalance, this wealth imbalance, and this opportunity imbalance as we're heading into this massive global slowdown. And I think this is very dangerous. This is dynamite. And we're seeing uprisings throughout the world where people are sick and tired of all this government control. They're sick and tired of the money only flowing to the very few at the top. And, I just believe in fair and free markets. And this isn't fair and free, and it certainly isn't getting any better. It seems to be getting much, much worse as people here in America continue to struggle, getting deeper, deeper into debt. So how's it all going to play out? You tell me. How is it all going to play out? Is America just going to implode? Is the empire going to fall? What's going to happen? Comment down below. I would love to know your thoughts on this. Are we just going to have a small group of people at the very top, and are we all going to be serfs and peasants down here at the bottom? Is the middle class doomed? Is it over? Or do we still have a chance? Comment down below. I want to know what you think. Do we still have a chance? Is opportunity going to come back to America? Is manufacturing, our jobs, is it all going to come back to America, or is it over? And what should we do? If it is over, if we are doomed, how should we be preparing? Or can we even prepare? Please comment down below. So I'm going to wrap it up on this beautiful Wednesday evening. Before I go, I want to just go over one last article with you and why it's imperative that we are getting prepared for this economic tsunami. Look, it's not about doom and gloom. It is about reality. It is about survival. It is about protecting yourself, protecting your family, and doing whatever you can to not be a victim of what's coming. The first 3 months of fiscal 2020, check this out. $1 trillion, $163 billion, $90 million in federal spending sets record through December. So we have a lot of money going out and we don't have a lot of money coming in. And I think most of you would agree this is unsustainable. And I think most of you watching this would agree that when things are unsustainable, when things are financially unsustainable like this, when you have a Ponzi scheme stock market, when your government is spending more than it's taking in, when the debt of your country is accelerating at a record-breaking pace, you need to do something. You need to protect yourself. You need to get ready. And that's why I continue to just, take my hard-earned paper, fiat, monopoly money, save some of it, and take another portion and put it away in hard, solid, tangible metals, gold and silver. I don't know any other choices. I certainly wouldn't be buying real estate in this market. I'm certainly not going to be entering the stock market in this massive bubble. I'm not buying bonds in these bubbles. Another interesting thing, bond yields were all down today. I don't know if what's left of this stock market, had a bad feeling with this phase one deal today. It didn't seem to react too well to it. There was quite a pullback. But again, most of this market is manipulated. And so it still closed up. Dow Jones was up, we broke 29,000. Historic record day today. Dow Jones breaks 29,000, closes at 29,000. But there was a pullback. Bond yields were in the red. And so I don't know if some of this market really buys the phase one, but no matter whatever the case is, they're not going to let these markets go down just yet, no matter if it's good news or bad news, because the Fed will step in, the government and the media will step in with more optimism. We're gonna hear about optimism with phase one. We're gonna hear how great China is. Then we're gonna get optimism on phase two, and they're gonna keep propping these markets up with optimism, more fake data, telling you how great the jobs market is, even though nobody's making more than $12 or $14 an hour. We're going to just keep hearing about optimism, fake data, and when that doesn't work, the Fed just comes in and keeps injecting billions and billions of dollars of hard cash into these markets, into these banks, into bonds, and creating massive amounts of debt and hyperinflation. And after that, they'll just start dropping rates again. So I do expect that we're going to see rate cuts in 2020. They're going to use whatever tools they have in the toolbox left until they run out. And they are going to run out. It is going to come to an end. It's gone on much longer than most people thought it could. But take a look where we're at. Everything is seizing up right now. People's standard of living, people don't have money saved up, people are broke, they're getting tapped out. Household debt, all-time highs, corporate debt, all-time highs. We're not making anything. The global economy is seizing up. Global debt is absolutely out of control. U.S. debt, absolutely out of control. Everything is hanging on by a shoestring. And at some point, that shoestring is going to break loose. And I'm telling every one of you, the world's going to be a different place. Your world is going to be a different place. So make sure you're preparing. Most of all, make sure that you're praying to God, walking closer to God. Nobody's perfect. Nobody professes to be an angel here. There was only one man on this earth that was perfect. None of us are. But we can strive to be better human beings, walk closer to God, say our prayers a little bit more often, give thanks for what we do have, because it's not over. It's not over yet. We still have a chance. We still have some opportunity. And I think prayer is so important right now because it is going to take a miracle to save the United States of America. God bless.